Hello everyone, welcome to Wizartist. Today we're gonna know how do we see. We all know that we use our eyes to see the world around us. But did you know how our eyes work and how do they help us to see the world? Here is the answer. But before we get to know how our eyes help us to see, let's understand the working of different parts of eyes. When we see our eyes from up front, there is a transparent layer on top of it known as the cornea. This protects the eyes from invading particles that may damage it. But we also need to take care of the cornea because if it gets scratched, then our vision might become blurry forever. Then there is a colored round in the center of the eye. This is known as the iris. The color of the iris depends on person to person. The prime factor that contributes to the color of iris is melanin, a protein that helps in coloring of different parts of body like skin, hair and iris. The most common color of iris is dark brown and the most rare is red and light blue. Iris absorbs the excess light if it is put on our eyes because this excess light might damage the inner functioning of our eye, but this is prevented as the iris absorbs that light. And the iris can efficiently absorb the light if it is darker in color. Thus, we can say that if the iris is darker in color, then the vision is better. And if it's lighter, then it changes a bit and it is poorer compared to darker iris eyes. Then there is a small dot in the center of iris which is called as the pupil. It is not a colored patch like iris, but actually a hole which acts as a gateway for light to enter inside the eye. Now let's see how our inner eye works and how can we see. If we look at the inner eye, this is the cornea and this is the pupil, which is actually a hole. When the light enters through the pupil, it is reflected by the lens. Lens is a translucent part behind the pupil which refracts the light to the retina. The retina further converts the reflected light into optic signals. These optic signals are carried by the optic nerves to our brain. The brain then understands these optic signals and then we know what we are seeing. Thus, we can see the world around us. Here is a fun fact. When we see a particular thing, our eye actually doesn't take it straight or erect. It takes it upside down. This phenomena is because of a particular property of light which is known as rectilinear propagation. But it is our brain which converts that upside down picture made by the eye erect, and thus we don't see the world upside down but erect only. Now, you must be wondering, how does our eye help us to see the colors? In the retina, there are two substances known as rods and cones. These help us to see the colors around us. Rods help us to see the world in grayscale, while cones are of different types and they help us to see different colors. Sometimes these cones are missing or they are damaged. Thus, that eye cannot see the world colorful but only in grayscale. Such disease or disorder is known as color blindness. Sometimes few cones are present while others are absent. At this time, the cones which are absent, those colors are not visible, and instead of those colors, we see either grayscale or some other color. Such disease or disorder is known as partial color blindness. The most popular colors whose partial color blindness is observed are red and blue. Here is another fun fact. In 12 boys and 200 girls, one of each is colorblind. This means that 1 in 12 boys and 1 in 200 girls are colorblind. Thus, we can conclude that boys are more prone to color blindness compared to girls. Thank you everyone. Hope now you understand how we can see through our eyes. If you did, don't forget to give thumbs up and share it with your friends. Also, don't forget to click on that red subscribe button because when you subscribe, I get motivated to create more videos for you. Thank you everyone. Bye bye.